Welcome back to the Family Hustle with Angela and Adam Parker. I'm Angela of GradSideMama.com, and today we're going to be talking about 3 different social media platforms I think that you should be focusing on in the year 2021. Whoa, did I just say 2021? Yes, I cannot believe that we're talking about that. But let's get started. Hey, Goal Getter, I'm Angela.
And I'm Adam.
We help normal moms and dads chase after their big dreams
In a modern online world.
All while in the midst of raising kids
in what we call the family hustle.
So right now, while I'm recording this podcast, it is the beginning of October, but we still have a few months left in 2020. But if you focus on these right now, then you can really hit January of 2021 and off with a strong start. But this is where I feel like maybe you should evaluate what social media you are enjoying and hanging out on and what is growing effortlessly for you. And maybe that's where you need to focus more time in. And I actually just watched a YouTube video of a new creator that I've discovered in the past 2 weeks or so. And she was talking about reevaluating her plan. She was a blogger and she had started doing like YouTube videos that correlated with her blog, because what she really thought is her blog was her hub. You know, I've talked a lot about that. My blog is my hub, and it's something that you own. If you want a hub, a blog is a great way to kind of tie everything together, to have your own domain where people can go there. And I know I still went to her blog to check her out. So I still feel like a blog is something that is needed, but it's not necessary. You know, it's not necessary. You don't have to have a blog anymore. But as far as what she was talking about, if she was spending so much time on her blog, where she was just growing at a snail's pace. And she started doing these YouTube videos that correlated with her blog post. And she realized, whoa, I'm like growing way faster on YouTube than I ever did on my blog. And so she kind of switched her priorities around, where she focused more on her YouTube videos and creating her content that way. And she exploded. Now she has over 200,000 followers, and she grew most of those in the last year and a half. So it made me think about, you know, and she talked about the 80-20, like 80% of your time should be on what's growing the fastest, and the 20% can be everything else. Well, as a blogger, I am a blogger too. I have a blog. I kind of felt that way in 2015, 2016, where I felt like my blog was growing at a snail's pace. Now, whenever I launched my blog, I'm not going to lie, it grew extremely fast because I was in a lot of Facebook groups and like sharing my post in there, and I was getting 90,000 views on my blog every single month, which is pretty successful for a new blog. This was like 4 months after I had launched. But the thing is that it was very hard. It's very hard to keep up. And what I realized, and you may realize this too, is our society and our lifestyle has changed a lot in the last couple of years. My husband, who's an avid reader, now listens to audiobooks, you know, and there's a lot of times where if I can watch or a podcast, there's a lot of times where I'll search for a podcast instead of a book sometimes. You know, I mean, it depends. It depends on the type of content I'm looking for. Or I'll search for a YouTube video, you know, and so it's something that I can like do or get that information from while I'm doing something else. I feel like we are in this very like fast paced, and sitting down and reading a long blog post, most people just scroll. They're not really reading anymore. And so anyways, just thinking about that, how our lifestyle has changed. A lot of people aren't reading long blog posts anymore. And so most of the blog posts that I was seeing were very integrative, where it had a video or it had a podcast that went with it or different things like that. And what I was more inclined to tune into was the podcast or the video instead of reading it, unless it was just like something I could read the headlines and then dig deeper into what I wanted more information on, you know, just those sub parts, you know, it just is what was happening with me personally. And so seeing that, just as a society, realizing that video and audio content were growing faster than just a straight blog post, understanding that may make you maybe question or think about where you want to spend your time. Now, for me, I already talked about in the previous episode, the two fastest growing social media platforms for me are TikTok and Pinterest. Pinterest is really just a visual sort of social media that links to other places, but it's a search engine. So it's a way for people to find you who aren't already connected to you. Now, something that I have been really doing is leaning into stories, which is new on Pinterest, and also putting video, short video on Pinterest. And I've been getting a lot of views on those videos. Some of my pins have over 10,000 views. You know, it's really just crazy. The videos, some of my pins have way like, you know, hundreds of thousands of views, but it depends on, you know, do you want to lean into video in 2021? Because if you're not using video yet, I would highly encourage using video. Now, you can use video everywhere. You see Instagram stories, you know, where you can just do behind the scenes sort of videos with filters. You can do IGTV, you can do Facebook Live. You can just upload Facebook videos. Facebook has their stories as well. Although I don't know how I don't hear a lot of people talking about Facebook stories as they do Instagram stories. But Instagram stories, you can repurpose them on Facebook stories. And that's what I typically do. YouTube, and then TikTok, and there are some other ones that are video like TikTok. But thinking about video and how video is exploding kind of just across our society, people get to know people on video. And so thinking about where can you focus on video? So I personally don't enjoy doing Facebook Lives anymore. I like Facebook Lives. I can do a Facebook Live, but I feel like I personally don't watch Facebook Lives anymore. I would rather watch an edited video on YouTube or listen to a podcast. And so what I was seeing myself is that if I'm probably my ideal customer just a couple of steps back, if I'm my avatar just a couple of steps back, then they're probably feeling the same thing. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to do a Facebook Live. It's just that I don't want all my content to be on Facebook, and I don't want it all to be unedited and just spur of the moment. Although some people do a really good job with doing Facebook Lives and doing like a scheduled channel or a scheduled show, I feel like it's a whole lot easier to record a video and batch content, and that works so much better for me as a busy mom. So I would think about, if you're thinking about yourself, thinking about where you can show up on video consistently. And so for me, I felt like Facebook Live was not where I wanted to show up consistently. So I feel like Instagram stories is something that you can do, especially for behind the scenes. Now, something else you can do, and I actually see Shailene Johnson do this, where she saves her Instagram stories and puts them together as a video and will post that on Facebook. So I do that sometimes, but I like Instagram story filters, especially if I don't feel like I want to be, you know, put my makeup on, or I just want a more behind the scenes kind of look. I really like doing that for Instagram stories. And then, like I said, you can put that in Facebook stories. So if you're already on Facebook and you're already on Instagram, I would definitely make sure that you're doing Instagram stories. About how TikTok is growing so much faster for me. And so if you're interested in having some fun and trying something new, I would give TikTok a shot. And I know that I was very resistant at first. And even whenever I downloaded the app, I was very resistant, but it really is a whole lot faster to grow on TikTok than any other platform I've ever been on. Even on Instagram, it is so much faster to grow. And so I think if you're listening to this now and you still haven't downloaded TikTok, I would try it out. Now, I personally have not seen the same algorithm on Instagram. You know, a lot of people are talking about using Reels is the same as TikTok, but the algorithm for TikTok really is crazy. And as far as the organic reach. And so if you are a small creator, I think that you really need to think about TikTok. And if you're thinking as far as business related, focus on value-based content. You do not have to dance. You don't have to be silly. Think about value-based content. Even if it's like 3 tips or the one lesson you learned about or things like that. I share recipes. I do share some dances. I can't dance, but it's just fun. So thinking about maybe, giving TikTok a chance. So thinking about how TikTok is also video, that still aligns with how you should be kind of focusing on video because it's the fastest way people can fall in love with you, and build that trust. And TikTok videos you can repurpose to Instagram Reels, which gives you another thing to post on Instagram. Repost, obviously, because we're saving time here. And I repost my TikTok videos, like I said, on Pinterest and on YouTube. Now, I do change the music a lot of times, or if it's just me talking, it doesn't even matter. Just repost it. But those short videos do very well on Pinterest, and a lot of mine have done very well on YouTube. And so that's another way that you can repurpose. Now for long form content, and this is where I'm focusing on myself, and so this is revealing kind of behind the scenes with you, is I'm going to focus more on YouTube. And so like I said, Facebook, I'm not like breaking up with Facebook. I just don't enjoy Facebook, especially not right now. I just feel like where I really enjoy hanging out is on TikTok, and I really enjoy hanging out on YouTube, and Instagram, I don't know. And then Facebook, I just am not enjoying it very much right now. And so thinking about how I'm feeling, where can I create more inbound content where people are searching? YouTube is a great place to put that content, that long form content. Of course, a lot of those videos, for me, I launched a health and wellness podcast, the Grass-Fed Mama podcast, and a lot of those videos I can repurpose to my podcast. So that's another thing that I can do as well. But I really want to focus on places people can search and find me, which is a lot of that attraction marketing background and everything, just wanting to have content with high SEO so people can find you who are looking for you. And then that helps grow your audience and everything. And then those YouTube videos, you can promote them other places, but just not hosting them on Facebook or on IGTV, because that's another thing. I was listening to Shailene Johnson on a podcast this morning. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and she was talking about how people on Instagram TV, they want that quick win. They're not going to dive deep with you on Instagram TV. And so you can do like some quick tips or something like that, but you're not going to go very deep on Instagram TV, where I feel like on YouTube, there are some videos that are 35-minute deep, and they're teaching and they're tutorials and they're things like that that people are searching for to learn. And so if you're someone who can teach something of value that people want to learn about, and you go deep, you may want to think about YouTube. And then create a lot of videos around the same topic to build some authority and credibility and point people there instead of Facebook Live, that I feel like is just a way to build community and a way to like show up and everything and be real, but maybe not being like a really deep teaching place, whereas YouTube is a great place where people can learn. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think about that, about where you want to focus on in the next few months leading up to 2021. What do you think about where you like to hang out? What do you think about your best place to show up on video? Where is that? What are you thinking about investing time in the next couple of months? And what social media platforms are you seeing the most growth from? I want to hear from you because it's not the same for everyone, and that's what's so great. But I wanted to peel back behind the scenes of my own business, so that you can see maybe things that I'm doing, and understand, why are we putting more things on YouTube? But that's what's great, is that none of us have to do business the same way, and none of us are the same. And so there may be, you may love Instagram or Facebook Live, and don't want to change a thing, and that's great. But I just wanted to share some different things that I was thinking about, and I wanted to maybe brainstorm a little bit about some things that you can change or just think about for the next couple of months.
Thanks for listening to The Family Hustle with Angela and Adam Parker. We appreciate you guys being here.
If you're listening, don't forget to take a screenshot and share it into your stories and tag us at Grassfed Mama.
Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your podcast player of choice. That helps other people find out about what we're doing, and it's the best thing you can do to help us grow the podcast.
Hey, goal getter, are you ready to stop having to chase after people only to realize they aren't even interested in what you have to offer? You spend months trying to build rapport and get to know them, and then they never seem interested in buying. What if you could attract your ideal customer to you and have them reaching out for more information about your business and what you have to offer? If this sounds like something you want more info on how you can put into practice, join our Attraction Marketing Bootcamp, where we take 5 days to dig deep into discovering what your ideal customer wants and how you can be the most attractive to them through branding and developing a customer journey. Over the 5 days, you'll have worksheets and videos to guide you through this